lose, and all of a sudden it's a very different conversation, kind of given the conversations that we've been having about them over the last couple of weeks. So they get the job done, make no fuss about it at all, and that's exactly what Chelsea wanted and needed in this exact moment.
Well, the last time Chelsea won a game by 7 goals, and it was against Norwich City in 2021, Kieran, and this would definitely help some of the noise that we've been hearing.
Yeah, I think from a Chelsea point of view, it's a step in the right direction. I think, we spoke about how many issues they have within the club, and wins like this can help, get their confidence back and put them back on the right track. I think there's still a long way to go before we see the Chelsea that, we know as that dominant, successful Chelsea winning trophies. But this is certainly an opportunity for them now, 2 wins away from going and picking up a trophy. And like I said earlier, papering over those cracks that we've seen come to light with Chelsea over the last few years. So I'm sure Liam Rosenior will be happy with this result. I saw some top performances today from certain players. Estevao looks a real prospect, and I don't think any of us had any doubt that we're dealing with a highly talented squad.
Yeah.
I think obviously Cucurella mentioning about the need for some more experience in the team. I think that will certainly help this Chelsea team go that step further, but definitely gives them some room now to try and fix some of those off the field issues.
Happy days for Chelsea all around. Indeed, you could see from the match stats that they absolutely dominated this game from possession to shots on goal, and that's why they walk away with the 7-0 and both feet firmly in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. So a trip to Wembley for Chelsea once again. Let's welcome in our Jermaine Beckford, who was hanging on for one consolation goal for Port Vale, but in the end, as our commentators were saying, Jermaine, you could just clearly see that it was levels to this, and Chelsea just simply in another league, in another level.
Oh, indeed. Look, the golfing class was absolutely phenomenal in the end. What a performance from Chelsea, but a massive special attention has to go out to Estevao. I thought that kid today was unplayable. Every time he picked the ball up, he was so positive, so aggressive, so direct. Port Vale, I really felt for them. I thought Chelsea managed the game and handled the game very, very well. It could have been a little bit of a sticky tie, obviously up against a lower league opposition. But Chelsea said, look, not today, pal.
That low centre of gravity, the ability to glide past players with such ease, the balance he has, his decision-making as well, I think is improving game by game. And he's a player that Chelsea really, really need in this moment where he can create something out of absolutely nothing. I love watching him as a player. I think in this day and age, we don't see that many players with that ability. I think they're a dying art. So as a fan of football in general, I love to see players like this.
I think he's also in a really good position, both for club and country. In a week that we've had all kinds of conversations about Chelsea Football Club, their players, who wants to stay, who wants to go. Estevao just goes about his business, no sign of any kind of ego, wanting to learn his trade and continue to develop as a footballer. And I think you're seeing that progression. He understands that it's still early in his journey. He's got a lot to learn, and is taking that challenge on, and credit for him. And I say why for his country, coming off the back of an international break where we still have some questions about Brazil and their prospects going into the World Cup, and even some of the personnel like Carlo Ancelotti may have to call on come this World Cup. Estevao just continues to do his work again, making no noise outside to suggest anything other than I am just a young player. We are the ones who are labeling him as talented. He's going to go about his business, learning the position, learning what it takes to reach the heights that I think his talent will take him. And again, for all the conversations that we're having about all kinds of other people, Estevao just somehow exposes all the qualities that we love to see in young footballers.
Yeah, Jermaine, Estevao is still so young, only 18 years old. The fact that, Kieran even compared him to Eden Hazard, of course, is high praise. Do you feel like he's the man that Chelsea should build around going forward?
I don't see why not. Look, he's an 18-year-old. He's youngster. He's a youngster. He's playing games. He's getting minutes. He's got the fans right behind him as well. The confidence that he's playing with is absolutely out of this world. I mentioned before, every time he picked the ball up, I saw the whites in the left back, in the Port Vale left back's eyes, and he was worried every single time. Estevao, he's at a great club, and I could see where the similarities even, I can't even get my words out now, where the similarities lie between himself and Eden Hazard. They both glide with the ball. They both look effortless in possession and when they're running at fullbacks. And the fullbacks or the centre-backs or the centre midfield players, whoever's coming up against them, they don't know whether they're going to drift inside or drift outside because they're so naturally gifted on both feet. So, yeah, I do see those similarities. What will be the defining factor is longevity. If Estevao's able to do this over the next 2, 3, 4 seasons here, wow, what a talent he's going to be. And he will be #1 for Brazil's national team. It's just a matter of time. I would like to see him get a little bit more time off the bench and just playing a few more minutes with the national team before he becomes a regular starter. But that's only because I don't want him to burn out. He's one of those players who, for me, if he continues on this trajectory, he's going to be a generational talent.
Generational talent indeed, and Brazil has given us many of those, and Chelsea do have quite a bit of Brazilians, but it's no secret that they have endured their struggles so far this season. Guys, if we just have a look at the Premier League table, it kind of does show Chelsea's struggles. They are in 6th position in the table. Like I said before this game, they had lost 4 in a row in all competitions, which included quite, I don't want to say embarrassing, but a tough loss at the hands of PSG, where everyone was saying this sums up Chelsea's season so far. But now you come back, you get a massive win, albeit against a side languaging 61 places before you. But mentally, Shaka, what does this do, especially knowing you have Manchester City next?
Well,